Hey, hey, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there, way across the pond, the man in isolation outside Tokyo, Japan, Dave Coco. What's up, brother?
Hey, nothing much, man. Nothing much. Yeah, it's gone a little crazy out there in the world. No, it's crazy though. America,
Mhm.
you really got your act together. You're in isolation doing everything. Japan, like literally, they're like, we'll just shop less, like, and that'll be it. But like, you guys are like really prepared and making it happen. In Japan, I feel like Bruce Willis, like, welcome to the party, MFers, or whatever the line was. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
we've been dealing with this coronavirus for like a month now. So it's crazy. The world is on halt. The world is on halt, my
Yeah,
friends. Are you and your
yeah.
family safe, sir?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Everybody's fine here. Really, the whole shit hit the fan. This past Thursday is when we just kind of realized, okay, this is getting really, really serious. We're not going to be able to just kind of, skirt this or just, maybe take it. No, we had to start taking precautions in this country on Thursday. As of right now, where I live, now, granted, it's not as bad as some other places in the U.S., but here in the Richmond area, we've only had about two people die of this coronavirus here, which is a blessing. It was out in James City County, which is closer to Norfolk. We've got about 70 some odd cases. Of course, that number is going to change in probably just a few hours when they do the update. We've got about 70 some odd cases, positive cases of the coronavirus out here. Right now, a lot of non-essential stuff is starting to close. Like my gym, for example, they're implementing they're following the CDC guidelines. Like no more than 10 people will be allowed into my gym at any given time, and workouts are going to be limited to 30 minutes. Restaurants here, a majority of them have closed their dining room, so they're offering takeout and delivery options. Um, Grocery store. There's several grocery stores around where I live. They got ransacked. There's not a square of toilet paper to be had in Henrico County.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
they
crazy. That's
cleaned
what
that
brings
out.
value. Like usually it's
Well,
water or food. Why toilet paper? You guys want some clean buttholes? What's going on over there in America? You guys got clean buttholes?
yeah. Well, here's what it is. In my opinion, I think they were worried about what happened in Italy, where they were completely told to shelter in place. Like in Italy right now, you can't leave your house unless you're going to like the pharmacist, a doctor's appointment, or the grocery store. And even then, you got to have some kind of documentation saying, "Hey, that's where I'm going." Otherwise, you get arrested. I think they were worried about that, and they're thinking, "Well, if I get stuck, if I have to get stuck in my house for a month or however long, toilet paper is one thing I don't want to run out of, because I don't want to be disgusting and not be able to wipe my butt." So they went out and started
Dude,
panic
that's
buying.
what your collection of pro wrestling T-shirts are for.
Mm,
Oh man, I'm trying to make a light of a horrible situation, but
yeah,
that's what we do around here. Be safe. I know this is bigger than pro wrestling. We will get to the pro wrestling, but yeah, just be safe out there. It's crazy, and I didn't see this was the end. And I know it's
yeah.
weird. Just
Hmm.
like the big earthquake in Japan, just I wish there like the real information get out there. There's so many extreme things that you're just like,
Hmm.
okay, dude, got it. Wash my hands, wear masks, don't talk to people. Normal day, got it.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, booms.
Yeah. At my job, we've been trying to limit like our contact. Like we've got, like I work in media for those of you who may not know or are new to the show. We've been doing our morning meeting like via like a Zoom app where we're just all like looking at our computers, kind of like what we're doing right now. We're all doing that. We've got photographers and reporters working together exclusively during this as to not, keep passing people around. I mean, it's all we're doing, is coronavirus stories. And, it sucks, but you know what? We're going to make it through this. We're going to get through this together. I mean, hell, if the restaurants weren't closed or weren't operating differently, I wouldn't know anything was wrong because this is typically what I do. I typically just go home and, just kind of mind my own damn business anyway. So
I
it's
honestly
not,
didn't know the difference. Like, I'm like, got it. Less work, more video games. Got it.
yeah.
Right on. Yeah, we're gonna get to the wrestling portion of it. I just want to say the audio. I know we've had a couple complaints. I don't know what to do. This is as best as it's gonna get. So
Hmm.
we'll keep working on it little by little, and we're hope to make more videos. It sucks because like I was like, oh man, I got a month off of work. I can fucking finally catch up on wrestling. I can watch New Japan Cup. I can watch, and yeah, and it's gone. And yeah, so
Hmm.
it's kind of crazy. And not only that, but Tampa, a off topic. Let's try to lighten up the mood, baby. Brady's a buck. Brady's a buck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brady's a buck. And they were also, the XFL is canceled. Everything's pretty much canceled,
Yeah,
except
everything's pretty
good.
well. Well, yeah, I was going to say just real quick of all the things that are canceled, like mainstream, quote unquote mainstream sports, NHL, their season's on hold. In Major League Baseball, they've delayed the start of their season. Um, what else? NASCAR. I think they were going to try to do races without fans in the stands, but I don't think that's happening now. I mean, it's everybody's taking a hit on this one.
Yeah, and pro wrestling, AEW and WWE are still trying to put on shows, and
Hmm.
the Tampa Bay WrestleMania, the update. Now, this is always changing. This is a weird situation the world's in. So we could be recording this, uploading it, and it change. So keep on top of the story. But as of now, WrestleMania is going to be in the NXT developmental. What do they call it?
It's going to
The
be the Performance Center.
Performance Center. Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
And to me, I'm kind of sad because I grew up in ECW, and we're talking pro wrestling here. We're trying to
Right,
bring it small scale here, folks. I don't want people to be
right.
like, "Oh my God, this is what you're worried about." We're bringing it small scale here.
Hmm.
Um, it makes me sad because I grew up an ECW fan, a WCW fan, an NWA fan, and I never really liked WWF, and I never really liked WWE, and I got sick and tired of it. Like I did. WWE on Fox deleted one of my tweets. I said, "What was something?" It was like I'm paraphrasing here. They're like, "What was something that you believed as a kid? Now that you're an adult, you felt foolish." And my response, my tweet, which got deleted, was, "I once thought when Cena left, the product was going to be good." Um, they deleted the tweet, and you know what? I don't hate the WWE. It's just not for me. And like I always thought like
Hmm.
it would be for me one day, and it's not. There's pro wrestling fans, there's entertainment fans. But it being in Tampa, I wanted this to be my like I'm a little bit of a romantic. I like to have that final
Hmm.
date. I like to have a little bit of pineapple pizza and say, "Hey, it's not really working out." By the way, I always mention time. That's what my ex-girlfriends always said. When I break up with them, I'm like, yeah, dude, time is very valuable. And like, okay, I got it. I'll pack my shit and leave. but time is valuable. And when John Cena left, I thought it was going to be improved, and it's not. And I've given up. But I have a special spot in my heart for Tampa. I mean, anyone that talked to me for 10 minutes knows that. I'll probably move back there eventually. Um, I thought this would be a great ending. You know what I mean? Like, hey, good or bad, the WrestleMania in Tampa is my last WWE show I'm gonna watch. And I haven't watched the show. I watched half of SmackDown just because of empty arenas. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings, and I want to get your opinion on this. I love the fact that they're
All right.
doing empty arena. I don't know if they should be doing empty arena WrestleManias. I think they should postpone WrestleMania, but Raw and SmackDown and the rest should be empty arenas. I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm like, there's one thing I like about Vince, and we complain about Vince, especially me. I like that he has the balls to go to the Middle East when no one else does. I like that he had the balls to do the show after September 11th. I like that he's a fighter. You know what I mean? And he's trying to fight here, good or bad. He's a fighter, and I don't know. I'm just kind of sad that like I was like, this is my send off song, and then this happens, and it's just like, all right, you know. And first off, the logo's up on the screen, Booms. I know you can't see it, but
Hmm.
dude, I might not like WWE, but that is a fucking badass logo, especially if you're a Bucks fan. Ooh, that's a sweet logo. Booms, hot tag to you. What's your thoughts? And I know you probably have a lot to add.
Yeah, everybody else has canceled shows. New Japan, they've canceled, or at least want to say postponed the New Japan Cup. They canceled the Lions Break project. I mean, they've canceled a lot of shows. Um, Ring of Honor's canceled everything through May 31st. I think Evolve and that whole crew, they've canceled shows, but I think they're offering like a month of like a free month of on their subscription service. I think AAA's canceled shows. I mean, it's just affecting everybody, uh, globally right now. AEW, as of this recording, is moving their show. It's going to be an empty arena show at Daly's Place, Jacksonville. But as far as McMahon goes, with this, I think a lot of this was just unnecessary and completely reckless. We, the CDC started coming out. They started talking about, first of all, the president, banned travel to China, where the coronavirus first started. Then we saw more and more cases pop up in Europe, and so he extended the travel ban right now to European countries. The CDC has recommended that, as of right now, that you don't have any gatherings of more than 10 people. We maintain a 6 foot distance between each other. We don't shake hands. We have to bump elbows. Um, and and he still wanted to go through with Mania in the city of Tampa. Now, Wrestling Ranton, our buddy over there on the YouTubes, check him out. He's a super awesome guy.
The best. Love them. Love you,
Yes,
Ranton. I always do. Can I make a quick joke here to lighten the mood
yeah,
or make it fucking horrible? I always joke
mhm,
because, like, remember we used to be more popular than him and now he's more
yeah.
popular? I always joke that I'm Arn Anderson and he's Cody Rhodes. Like, I'm just holding on to it. I'm just there, like, hey, I used to do this. I'm so proud of you, Wrestling Ranton. Go on.
I am. He was reporting that basically Vince McMahon was saying, no, we're going to keep going forward with WrestleMania in Tampa, despite all this stuff going down, despite the travel bans, knowing that a lot of these fans come from out of the country to Mania, wherever it is, knowing that would be a big chunk of his
I was
audience
actually
gone.
considering going live for my last WrestleMania.
Well, and so I thought, and plus, again with the CDC guidelines, and you're trying to stop the, slow the spread of this virus. I mean, I thought it was completely reckless to say, no, we're going to still keep going with this. Well, according to, Ranton had read a report, had reported that a lot of this boiled down to like insurance money. Like there was like technicalities, like where if WWE called off Mania at Tampa, they'd lose all their insurance money, but if the city of Tampa called it off, then they would get to keep their insurance money. And I'm like, guys, y'all really just needed to work this shit out, because if like the state of Florida or especially the city of Tampa declared a state of emergency, they could shut you down. We had some shit like that in Richmond. We had an event. A guy wanted to go through with it, but next thing we know, they're in a meeting with city officials, and then next thing we know, they postponed this event. And if that's what it came down to money, I'm pretty sure, with everything going on, everybody's going to be understanding that, there are, there are things
WrestleMania
you
in
could.
Saudi Arabia. There's options. There's options, people.
Oh, it ain't much better over there. Iran's a mess too, so you're pretty close to that area. Spain's a mess. Italy's a mess. So, and plus, you've got travel. You've got travel bans right now. Now, I think that just means if you're not an American, you can. I mean, if you're overseas and you're an American, you can come back. But I'm not even sure if they'll. I mean, I know they won't even let you fly to China now. But you're just going to wind up with a big logistical nightmare right now. And so now you're going to take, and now you're not even going to. I could maybe I could kind of respect, not canceling stuff, but still, you're putting your employees, you're putting your athletes at risk by going forward with this because you're going to move it to the performance center. Now, I don't think they're going to do all the matches there.
Yeah, that's gonna be my next question. Are they planning to do
You
an
know,
8-hour event in front of nobody?
hmm I
That's
mean,
gonna be amazingly horrible. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I Here's the thing. I don't know how true this is. I read this on a Twitter headline. But they're only waiting for Orlando to shut them down for insurance money. So like they don't really actually want to run WrestleMania, but I'm hoping, man, because what do they fucking do? I mean, pay-per-view predictions is going to be weird. Pay-per-view profits.
yeah.
Uh,
It's going to actually the question is going to be what actual matches air if they get to air at all.
well, and not only that, but also too, well, there's a couple things. One, this is
hmm
great for the old guys. You can take a couple takes. Goldberg fucks a spear. Feel like take two. No one fucking knows this ain't live. Um, Second thing is just like, man, WrestleMania is a chore. Last year's WrestleMania was good to completely average in that range, but it was long.
hmm
Now imagine that without the audience, without, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm
And
thinking the
all that,
city of
but
Orlando.
go ahead.
I'm thinking the city of. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm thinking the city of Orlando might shut this down because I mean you're violent. Okay, here's the thing about the CDC guidelines when it comes to gatherings of, 10 or it's not like, this it's going to be hard to enforce because it's unless you put a cop at every street corner and have them go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, are y'all coming with me? You're all going to jail now. I mean, a lot of this stuff, you have to self-enforce. I mean, you have to have, be self-conscious and have the ethics to to go, what, this sucks, but this is what they're recommending. We're trying to stop disease from spreading here.
Well, yeah, yeah,
I
but
need to
that
do my
that
part.
that works if it, like you have a party. Like let's say you're fucking hanging out and you have 12 friends in a
Mhm.
house. Okay, you can get away with that. You're not getting a fucking away with WrestleMania. You know what I
Oh, I
mean?
know, I know. And plus, how is it going to look publicly? I remember WWE is a publicly traded company. How is that going to look? When you've got a promoter, having athletes travel when we probably need to, to kind of, be at our house. You know,
Um,
okay, you're going to have them traveling and then coming into close contact with even just essential. I mean, how does it look? When it kind of looks like you're putting your employees. I'm talking about your production guy, the guy who handles the sound, the guy who handles the lights, the guy who, pulls the curtain back. You know, how's it going to look when you put them, and not to mention your professional athletes who are locking up with each other, coming to contact, coming into bodily fluids like sweat, spit, anything else, potentially blood, coming into contact with each other. And you're the one who said, you're the one who gave the green light, who told this to keep going. How does that look?
I'm actually gonna play devil's advocate here. Um, I don't know if I believe this. I'm gonna say the
hmm
other side of this argument, but I'm not 100% behind this side of the argument. Maybe if it's volunteer, then people can look the other way. You're like, hey, dude, you don't have to show up to work, but we're gonna have an event, and if you show up, cool. If you don't, cool. You know what I mean? And then the fans, if they sign something, I don't know. Actually saying it out
No.
loud. The fans is a bit far. Let's rewind. All right, so let's
Okay.
say you have WrestleMania. You're publicly traded. You're like, oh fuck, we're gonna do this event no matter what. Because there is something special about when times are tough, escapism
hmm
surviving. There is something special about that. I know people are like, oh, it's only fucking wrestling. Oh, it's only
Well, okay.
fucking
Let me
this.
ask you something, Coco. Let me ask you this:
Yes,
if
sir.
if if Vince McMahon went up on TV and just said, "Look, guys, this is a very serious situation. People are getting sick here. The government, health experts have recommended that we not do things because we need to do our part to make sure that we keep the rate of infections at a low rate as to not overwhelm uh, hospitals, doctors, medical supplies, medicine, etc." And so, out of, because we believe that the safety of our fans, the safety of our employees, and the safety of our athletes come first. guys, we're going to postpone all our events. We're going to postpone WrestleMania until, and I'm just going to make this up, June. Would you lose any respect for WWE? Would you lose any respect for WrestleMania? Would you lose any respect for Vince McMahon?
I don't think I'd lose respect for him. I think, and that pitch, no. It's like, hey, I understand, but once again, I'm playing devil's advocate. Not 100% sure if I agree with what I'm about to say. There is something special about you're fucking stuck at home. We're gonna put it on the show anyway. There is something romantic about it. There is something special about it. Now, forcing employees to do it is a different thing. Like forcing Rob Van Dam to try to go to the Middle East, that's bullshit. But like, if there is a group of 5, 6 people, 10 people, and they're willing to put on a show, then so be it. The problem is it like, you know what I mean? Is it one of those things that people are forced to do it, not to do it? I'm one of those guys, we're not supposed to leave the house. I've gone to see my students 2, 3 times. After the earthquake, I ran towards the radiation. Not for a hobby, just to help people. Just
Oh, okay.
but
You're like, where the fuck's my superpowers?
yeah. It's like, move out of my way, little girl. Oh my god, this is getting dark fast. And the joke, okay, you guys, I was pushing a little girl out of the way so I can jive into radiation. That was the joke. Now that I've said it out loud, I'm kind of glad I fucking moving on. I don't know. As long, cause like I'm trying to play devil's advocate. You know what I mean? Putting on a show, risking your life. Maybe it's the Marine in me. You know what I mean? But then again, there's always it's just fucking pro wrestling. But then it's just, you could say that about anything. Oh, it's a tough call, man. But here's the thing. If someone says, I don't want to fucking go, fuck you, I don't want to fucking die, that person should not be punished in any way. You know what I mean? And for the Bill Goldbergs, for the Brock Lesnar's, for the title matches, that should be done. See, here's my thing. If I was running, can I be Vince McMahon for a second? Let's do that. I'll be Vince and you be Vince. I would go on and be like, listen, if wrestlers show up, we'll put on a show for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. If wrestlers don't show up, we'll make clip shows. You know what I mean? And it's up to them. They're risking their health to entertain you. They're not going to be punished or what. You know what I mean? That's how I'd pitch it. Fans, I would get rid of. I was trying to think of how to get fans in the building, but even when I said it out loud, that's horrible. I would postpone. I'd postpone WrestleMania. I wouldn't postpone empty arena Raws or SmackDowns unless enough wrestlers didn't come. And then even then, I would just put in highlights. Like, hey guys, here's the fucking steel cage match. Here's, you know what I mean? That's what I would do. I don't know if that makes me a good person or a bad person.
It's not like they're not. And it's not like they're not capable of this. I mean, NXT, they're promoting that is they're doing like in-depth character profiles, never before seen interviews. They're changing up the format for NXT tonight, at least according to an article that I read this morning.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand that, from maybe like a storyline perspective, your biggest event of the year, you can't just like, hit the pause button or just tread water or come up with some kind of bullshit feuds in the meantime till you get into the summer and then could possibly do this again. I mean, you already look at it not doing the Hall of Fame ceremony until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And plus here's another thing. If this was like Extreme Rules or Backlash or No Way Out or Fastlane or Great Balls of Fire, and you wanted to do it in the Performance Center, you know what? I might have cut you a little slack on this one, but this is WrestleMania. This is your biggest show of the year. This is your moneymaker, and you're looking at just putting something out there just for the sake of putting out there. Quality be damned. The hell.
It'll be a WrestleMania you remember forever. I tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who paid good money to go to Mania.
Yeah.
And, I mean, dude, and this is circumstances beyond everybody's control. I'm just saying, why not just do like some of the lower card matches, get those out of the way, do Mania a little bit later, once shows can start resuming, once things get back to normal, and then, and it's like a reward. Why not give them one hell of a, like a longer match, or better yet, or just like a dream match or something? Just throw it in there as a reward. I mean, but I mean, your company's gonna lose money. you're going to look foolish because, you held like your biggest, you held several of your like biggest marquee matches. I mean, I feel sorry for Drew Galloway,
Oh
who I feel
God, it's
sorry
the
for.
worst.
Here you go, you win the Royal Rumble. It looks like, you're about to break through, you're about to go to the next level, and oh yeah, Brock Lesnar's not even going to be there.
Oh,
So you're going
Brock
to have
said
to
he's
hold
not
that
coming to
in.
WrestleMania.
I don't think Brock's going to come.
Interesting. I haven't heard anything about that, but Brock's the
'Cause
type of person to say fuck off pretty quick.
and if you're not going to have that, I mean, and you can't. Let's just say we don't know how long this thing's going to go. We don't know how long these rules are going to be in place. I mean, it could be in place for 2 weeks. It could be in place for a month. It could be in place for 2 months. We don't know.
It could be even
We're
longer than
gonna.
that. Like, it's weird. I don't know how it is in America, but in Japan, everyone's like, "Oh, dude, in a month, everything will be fine." I'm like, "How do we know this? No one of fucking high intelligence have said this." It's just
Yeah,
like
I
a
mean, when
feeling going around.
the trouble with a disease like this is you're not really going to prevent anybody from getting sick. I mean, people are just going to get sick. Unfortunately, that's just the way fucking shit works. What you can control is the infection rates and the frequency. You want to try to flatten out that bell curve as much as you can. That's why we're practicing social distancing. So when people do get sick, it's a slow, gradual rate over a spread out period of time. Again, so you don't overwhelm hospitals, you don't overwhelm medical staff, you don't overwhelm the equipment. That way, like, because if you have 11 coronavirus patients, but you only have 10 respirators or 10 doses of whatever medicine, well, somebody's getting fucked. And you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So
Yeah,
that's why we were doing what they're doing. So we even this out, so everything goes slow and steady, and eventually things peter out. What the big concern is, maybe we call off, all these restrictions and social distancing a little too early, and then boom, infection rates pop back up again, and we get hit with a second wave.
yeah. It's a scary, weird time, man. Booms.
Hmm.
Did you think this is how it was gonna end?
No, I didn't think how this was
I don't
going to
know.
end. I was promised zombies. That's what I was promised. I was promised if there was ever like a major pandemic and we were trying to like, track down a disease and find vaccines, there would be zombies. And we don't have zombies, and I feel ripped off. I
Well,
want my money back.
give it time. 2020. We started. We were gonna start World War III. Something else bad happened. There was the monkey invasion. You know, a lot of shit. A lot of shit's going down in 2020. It's going down.
Hmm.
Um, are you gonna watch WrestleMania? Because here's the thing: I haven't watched WWE in forever. They're like, we're gonna do it in an empty arena. I watched half a show, but it was so funny too because like this is my interest level. I was like, man, I'm gonna watch WWE. It's an empty arena. It's kind of interesting. I haven't watched it in years. You know what I mean? Months. I don't know when the
Well,
last one I've seen. I think last year's WrestleMania was the last one I seen, and Jesus Christ, that was a chore. But I did turn it.
maybe I hope I don't sound like a hypocrite, but the part of me does have a curiosity factor on this. And I know what you're thinking. Well,
Yeah,
Booms, you just criticized, Vince McMahon for going through with this. But also bear in mind, guys, we've got like, okay, unless you're like watching like a TV show or a movie or something like that that's already in the can.
Twitch.tv, KocoSports, live
Yeah, there you go.
entertainment, twenty four
Stuff like that.
seven.
I mean, there's no live sporting events. There's no fresh content. There's no nothing.
Boom,
And
boom. You spit in my Twitch career face. Go on.
no, no, you do that. You do that on your own.
It's true. I do make an ass out of myself. Go on,
Part of
Booms.
me part of me does kind of want to see how they handle this, but another part of me going, this is ridiculous. You shouldn't be doing this, and I don't want to reward you with my viewership.
Well, I.
You know, mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was just gonna say, like, SmackDown it drew me in, and like you know me, I was like, I'm gonna watch WrestleMania. That's my last event ever. It drew me in, but it didn't keep me. And here's the example: I was watching it not so legally because I own a WWE network. What the fuck, man? Why do I have to illegally download something I'm already? That's another fucking bit. But
Mhm.
I was watching it illegally, allegedly, and they break it up in parts, and they're like, "Do you want to press play for part two?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." You know what I mean? Like, I think I would have watched the whole thing if it was one giant stream. But as soon as they're like, "Do you want to press part two?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, no, I don't." So I don't know. But the thing is, if WrestleMania does happen in the event center, I was gonna say this is my last one. I don't know. Now it's not as special, but I might just watch out of pure curiosity and history. But if it does happen, are you watching it? And are you watching it the whole time? Because, like, I tried to watch SmackDown, and I was averaged. I don't want to say I was entertained. I don't want to say I hated it. I was just averaged. And that's what
Hmm.
WWE does to you. And, like, their best shows averaged you. You're like, good, I can't complain about this. I can't cheer for it. Triple H was kind of funny. And then it was
Hmm.
like, click to play part two. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm out. So, let's just say WrestleMania does take off. It does happen. Will you watch? And do you think they can keep your attention?
I think I might, if I do watch, it might be just to kind of see how they handle it. Now, where they hold my attention, I don't know. It depends on how. It's really good to depend on the performers. Because as a point that Wrestling Ranton made, I mean, okay, you can't have the sizzle, you can't have the fluff. You're gonna have to show me the substance.
Brian Daniel, get out. Brian Danielson, get out there and have a fucking 60-minute match. Dolph Ziggler's like, it's my time to shine. Like, Dolph, you're a bitch. You had your time to shine. I don't know. I picture Vince fucking talking to him. It's like, fine. No one's fucking watching anyway. AJ, Daniels, Nakamura, you can try. And, like, you just see a fucking, like, an invisible barrier of not trying to lift it off him. I'm being stupid. But yeah, I'm probably going to check it out. And I'm going to check out AEW. They've been on fire. And I just want to talk about the smaller companies. A, we love the smaller companies. B, we just talked about WrestleMania because it is part of. I don't know. I always say WrestleMania isn't WWE's big event. It's a celebration of pro wrestling. There's all the indie events. And I'm not the only one to come up with this idea. Support your local indies. Support the indies there. If you were ever thinking about buying indie shit, a lot of media are telling you to do that. But trust me, as a guy who ran indie shit, they are very close to going bankrupt. All of them. You know what I mean? They could be like,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
we're pretty fucking secure. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're
yeah,
one or two shows fucking flopping to fucking going out of business. It's not an easy
yeah,
fucking run, and you're living from event to event, and WrestleMania is a huge payday for everybody. Even not in WWE. I mean, New Japan was hitting home run after home run. I was talking about this with New Japan. Usually the Eastern fans love it or the Western fans love it. I know fucking people are gonna be pissed because I'm a white guy living in Japan saying that, but I feel like after the Double Iron Sheik, they unfucked their situation and they were on a roll making everyone happy. And then this hit. You know what I
mhm,
mean? AEW, what was it, a month? A good month, maybe more? Hitting home run after home run. NXT, fucking, I don't watch it, but people are impressed by it. And WWE is coming up to WrestleMania, and it just seems like pro wrestling, even the little companies, and I don't want to say New Japan's a little company, but a lot of people consider WWE to be the monopoly. But even alternatives, it just seems like everyone was starting to hit their fucking stride. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So me and Boom Boom and maybe a couple guests, we're gonna sim on this channel, on Coco Plays YouTube channel, and on KocoSports Twitch. We're gonna try to sim the New Japan Cup and just talk shit. Maybe we sim. Maybe this is the future. Maybe esports and simming is the future, boys.
Mhm.
Uh, Imagine if that's what it was. Imagine if like you just watched Madden and that like what took over fucking sports because no one could go outside.
Mhm.
It's a weird future we're gonna be living. Booms, what do you think about the alternatives? And do you agree that they were all hitting fucking? I just thought it was a great time to be a pro wrestling fan outside of WWE.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
God,
Mania for all practical purposes technically is canceled. I mean, when you want to think about it, yeah, I mean they may be doing some shows, but they're not going to be doing it in front of fans. They're not going to be doing it in front of a packed arena. It's for the most part, it's canceled. In technicality, not officially, but technically, it's canceled. That's hurting the indies more because it doesn't matter. I mean, this just happens every time WWE announces whatever city they're going to be in. That's where all the independent companies go, and that's what they do. They just run shows in nearby towns and areas and arenas in that city. And so with this being happened, the indies are going to lose money on this. And I hate it
sorry about
for them.
that. Yeah,
I hate it for them.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
it just
but
fucking.
you know what? Let's not all be doom and gloom here.
All
I
right.
think everybody's gonna. I do think everybody's gonna bounce back. I just think we're just basically we're in the middle of a giant turd sandwich. We're all just gonna have to take a bite. And once we're done taking a bite, this whole thing's gonna blow over, and we're gonna be just fine. We'll go back to business as normal. You know, and look at it this way. A lot of these events that were supposed to be scheduled for now are getting postponed. They're getting moved to like the summer. They're getting moved to the fall. Man, our social calendars are going to be so packed. You know, once we get later on in the year, I mean, we're going to have like, you know, we'll do one thing on Friday, and then turn to do another thing on Saturday, and then another thing on Sunday. I mean, we're going to be jam packed. And you know, we just have to get through this. We have to weather this storm. So, you know, this is no doom and gloom. We're gonna get by God. We're gonna get through all this together. Okay, we're gonna be fine.
I hope you're right. I think the lack of information and the uncertainty is what it is because like in 2 3 months we all laugh and like oh is fucking we overreacted, or 2 3 months from now we're like fuck man this sucks. You know what I mean? So let's hope for the best. And overall, you know, I know like people get angry when serious topics are brought up and like how can you do it. I think escapism is one of the best things in the world. You know what I mean? It's just if you grew up in a rough childhood, if you fucking had a hard time, there
Hmm.
is something great about escapism. And I don't know, I think people consider themselves like intelligent if they don't have escapism or escapism important, but to me, I think escapism is important, man. And I don't
Hmm.
know. There's a part of me that hopefully we can just hope for the best, man. I got nothing to say except try not to panic, wash your hands, and yeah, who knows. So it's gonna be interesting. Who Booms percentage wise? What do you think it is that it goes off inside the performance center?
I don't. I think they're going to do. I think they're going to do just a handful of matches. There's no way they're doing what 16 matches. I think that's what they had scheduled. There's no way in hell they are doing. They're going to do 16 matches in front of nobody. There's
No.
just no way. I think they might do a little something, something just to say, hey, we ran a show, we tried our best. Honestly, I think they're going to keep going until basically whatever city they're in tells Vince McMahon, WWE, no, this is not happening. We're canceling you because ultimately I think that's what they want.
Yeah, I can.
So that way, when they rewrite history, and you know that's going to happen, when they rewrite history, they're going to go, well, we were going to go forward with this, but the man shut us down.
Yeah. I could see that a lot, and also with there's a lot of connections with insurance, and man, how shitty are insurance companies? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, if you're not coming through when the fucking whole world is under fucking attack, you serve no fucking purpose. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like this is your time to shine and be a fucking hero, but yeah. Um, I don't know, man. Hopefully it goes well, man. Hopefully it goes well. We have a lot of free time. Maybe we'll do more news. I mean, me, Boom Boom, Jerry, we see Coco Sports as the Titanic. It it was great at one time and we loved it with all our hearts. But depression, I mean, an iceberg hit it, and it's been on the bottom of the sea, and we're gonna rebuild it. You know, I think we can get 2 more years out of this ship, but hopefully, who knows? Maybe us talking over simmed wrestling tournaments might be the future of sports. Uh, Booms, I love you, man. Be safe.
Hmm.
Follow me on twitch.tv, Coco Sports. We have lots of YouTubes. You can hit me up at Twitter on the Coco Sports. I
Hmm.
want to give a shout out to a member of the Internet Infantry. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but Rick1982, he streams my character, Sexy I'm a Handsome in Monster Hunter. So check him out. Wrestling Ranting. I don't know. I feel like we're an indie promotion and like NWA Wildside with AJ Styles. You know, it's like, man, fucking he used to be here with us. I feel that way. You know what I mean? Don't you feel like we're a little
Hmm.
indie and he fucking took off to the big time? We're proud of you, Ranton.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, anyone else you want to plug? You say?
You know, everybody just take care of yourselves, guys. We're gonna be fine. You know, hell, go fishing. I mean, I know. I mean, how much trouble could you get into going fishing? I mean, as long as you're not
I
around people, you're
Booms, not to
fine.
cut you off, but I'm pretty sure one of my friends, Reese, got sick going fishing.
Like I said, you just can't be around people. And just, yeah, I mean, you can go out. I mean, I don't know if you can go to a public park. Just go to like a wooded area or something. Or better yet, one thing that made me feel better is just start calling your friends or call family members. I've called my grandparents. I've called my sister-in-law. And I've spoken with them, and that makes me feel a little bit better. So do that. You know what? Dust off the old console, start playing some old video games. Get around to watching that TV show that you've been saying, oh, I've been meaning to watch that. I've been meaning to watch that show. Go ahead and watch that TV show you've been putting off. Who cares if it's 10 years old or whatever? Just or experiment. Go look for a new TV show. Read that book, you've been putting off. Clean out the garage that you've been putting off. Just do, something else. And you know what? Also, even though you can't maybe dine in, support your small businesses, especially these restaurants. I mean, even if it's just like a regular business or a restaurant, go buy a gift card if you know you're going to go back there or get you an order to go. I mean, just keep supporting them and just, we're gonna get through this and just do those little bitty things and you're gonna be fine.
That,
And this is all going to blow over, and we'll be back to normal before you know it.
all we got to do is go to twitch.tv, KocoSports, and let this thing blow over.
Yep. And if
uh,
you show up on Dave's Twitch channel, you can DJ, you can request music, it'll play in the background while he plays hockey poorly.
yeah, man. Dude, Boom, that's like my passion right now, bro. I hope it takes off, and I think about it a lot. Me and Booms will come up with ideas. We fell out of. I think Booms. If I'm talking out of turn, please tell me. I feel like we are old school pro wrestling fans. Never really liked WWE. We had a wrestling show, so we felt obligated to do WWE. Got burnt out, and now with everything canceled, we're like, all right, we have a lot of free time. We got to come up with ideas for the channel. Maybe we write that book, Booms. It's not a pro wrestling book, so, but I don't know. Just be creative, man. Be creative and hope for the best. All right, love you, Boom Boom. Internet
All right.
infantry, love you. Support those that support us. And with that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.